Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Your Server. In today's episode, stop making your servers uncomfortable. But it's her birthday. When asked to smile more. I made $7.60 an hour last night. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Stop making your servers uncomfortable. Long-time lurker, first-time posting. I was a server for a 24 hours restaurant. It was the Sunday morning after church rush and a huge table of about 25 people and about 5 or 6 kids. I get them all set up and I get the kids set up with a table with coloring pages. Things were going well until one of the women told me I was good with kids and should marry her son, probably in his 30s, and point him out across the table. I give a chuckle because I'm 19. What am I supposed to say? Let me tell you guys, stop asking your server to marry said son at the table or said daughter at the table. We are only trying to get a tip from you and give you your food. This isn't a dating site where you can just pressure your server into a date with your kid. It's creepy and in most cases not as funny as we appear to make it. The worst part about the whole thing is then said son kept coming into my job and hitting on me. I never knew what to do and had to beg people to take his table, so I didn't have to be bothered while I'm trying to get paid. The worst part about the whole thing is then said son kept coming into my job and hitting on me. Beyond gross, mother has selected you as my broodmare, you will be mine. Now let me continue to use the fact you have to be friendly to me to do this. Exactly. At 19 I did not know how to react to this. Yes, let's stop harassing people in general, I'd say. Don't harass people. Woke culture gone mad. I just remember this one drunken lady back when I was still a bartender, maybe mid-60s, telling me, man, you'd be a much better son-in-law than the B***starred my daughter brought back. That was an all-time great moment. See, that isn't a creepy comment, that is just sweet. It all depends on the delivery and intent behind the comment. Come on, you left out the even before you'd, didn't you? The mom was bad, but that kid is worse. No social skills. No wonder his mom is still talking for him. He's got enough sense to go out on his own to harass you, he's 30. He should know better. And if he's not there eating, just tell him you can't talk to him because you're working. Tell him you're not interested in dating him. Don't run and hide, make him uncomfortable being there. Yeah, it is so weird to have your mom being like, oh please love my son, in front of a whole group of people. In a packed restaurant, like, come on lady, I got sh*t to do. I had a 20 top come in without notice over the summer, and the owner let them take all of our outside tables. They drank a few drinks and were being really friendly, and I thought I was doing a pretty great job until one guy stopped me with my hands full of dirty dishes and told me he wanted to set me up with his brother, right over here. While I was trying to politely explain I was engaged and flash my ring while holding heavy plates, he was telling me what a catch his brother was while the rest of the table thought this was hilarious. I managed to finish their experience without too much embarrassment, and they only left me a 10% tip between all the splits. It's the 10% that really gets to you. If you're going to try and pressure me at my job, at least tip me good. I could never date anybody who was a bad tipper or associates with bad tippers. One of my waitresses had an annoying dude walk up behind while she was holding a full tray of drinks and whispered in her ear, "I'd like to get into your pants." She turned around and said, "Sorry, there's only room for one *** hole in my pants," and walked away. Epic. Epic indeed. If you still work with that woman, tell her I said she's awesome. This is the way. Female friend of mine had what I believe to be the most cringe-inducing moment of all time. She's cocktailing one night, guy at one of the lounge tables has been a little sus with the looks up and down, but so far, nothing beyond the pale. He finishes his entree, she gives the standard dessert/coffee lead, he says, "Why don't you come back with your hair down next time? That'll be my dessert." Already pretty gross, but it gets worse. Then he says, "All right, bring me a piece of cheesecake." So she does. Sets down the cheesecake and a fork in front of him. He picks up the plate and the fork, offers the fork to her handle first and says, "Here, you've been working hard, have a bite." She politely declines. No, I insist. "Come on, take a bite, just one bite." At this point she's stressing because it is, in fact, super busy, and she has like 10 other tables waiting on her. After one more decline from her, and another plea from him to indulge, she caves to placate him, and takes a bite. "I'll go get you another fork," she says, beginning to step away from the table. He grabs it back from her before she can get out of reach and gives her the kind of look someone who grew up entirely in Buffalo Bill's oubliette, completely isolated from society, would consider seductive, and says, "Oh no, I'll use this fork." "Thank you very much," and sucked at that fork like he owed it some money. If she happens to read this. Sorry V, I know you hate when that story gets told, lol. It just has always stuck with me, and even though I occasionally get sexually harassed, it is never quite as disgusting or crass, and I never once have feared for my safety because of it. If someone started literally stalking me at work like that guy did OP, I would not be at all okay with it. Sorry ladies/trans/NBs, if I should feel some gender loyalty, but dudes are just gross and out of pocket constantly. Before I got married, I quit going to restaurants with family because of this and other cringe-worthy antics my family loved to play. The delights of growing up with white supremacists and a psychotic mother. Good times. I would be so embarrassed if my parent did something like this in public. Maybe that's why it's so cringy to me. One time I was working a large party. In front of all 3 sons and multiple people, one of the moms grabs me, tells me I'm pretty, and I should marry one of her sons. She basically asked me to choose one of them to their faces, lol. Then each one did indeed come up to me at some point and tried talking to me. Wild. The worst part about the whole thing is then said son kept coming into my job and hitting on me. Sounds like Harold Lauder from The Stand. Maybe he'll find a demon chick to bang then. But it's her birthday. So a couple of years ago I was working in a bakery/cafe, and we all took turns working behind the counter. One night about 5 minutes before closing time, a couple of young women came in asking about a vegan cake, and I tell them that yes, we can do that. They get super happy and tell me they want one right now. I tell them that they have to order it 2 days in advance, since the goods to make a vegan cake is expensive, perishable, and not commonly asked for. They start arguing about how they need one tonight, because it's their friend's birthday. I tell them that we have some other vegan options, but all they want is a classical cake. I told them we can't do that. They start complaining and arguing. Finally asking if I know of any other place that has vegan cakes. When I told them that basically no place is still open at this hour, and even if they are, they will have the same pre-order requirement. They started complaining about how no bakery caters to vegans, and how they were never gonna come back. I really hope so. Sadly, we're the only place that regularly have vegan options in stock. So I got off work late that day because they didn't realize that it was their friend's birthday. I feel sorry for the friend. Do better, people. They started complaining about how no bakery caters to vegans, and how they were never gonna come back. No bakery caters to poor planners either. They do not. Sometimes you can come up with something, especially if they are willing to compromise. I've put some **T together fast assuming you have everything available, but am no miracle worker. Can't work with what I don't have, and not when I'm about to lock the door. Oh, you want the vegan bakery? If you hurry, you can get there before they close. It's at 1234 Fake Street, off of Main Street. Ask for Homer Simpson. Sad part is that we have vegan options, they just weren't good enough. We usually make 1 to 2 vegan cakes a month, and it's just not economically viable to keep everything in stock for a cake. That's why we have the pre-order requirement in place, and we're very clear about it in all instances where that option is included. But yeah, sometimes I wish I could just tell some customers to go away with their ridiculous demands. Dough. All our cakes are vegan, just eat around the eggs and butter. And cream XD. And sugar. I worked in a bakery at a grocery store, and these kind of people are so annoying. Mom's coming in during the rush and practically screaming at us to make a custom cake for them in the next 10 minutes, because the pre-made ones that we can just write a message on aren't good enough. My kid wants strawberry and raspberry filling, and her favorite color is purple, so all the flowers must be purple. And then they're not satisfied with the result because we made it in 10 freaking minutes, and the most talented decorators work in the morning on the actual pre-orders and have already left for the day. I feel sorry for the friend. No doubt, they waited till the last minute to consider doing something nice on her birthday. And then didn't even get one of the other vegan options. Before I show up empty-handed because I was too late to pre-order a cake, I'd totally being a vegan anything to their birthday, even a vegan croissant or something. Lack of planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. Lack of planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. I worked in a bakery for 5 years, and the amount of people who would had ridiculous demands was mind-blowing. Show up 30 minutes before we close and demand a 3-tier wedding cake large enough to feed 300. Yeah, let me get right on that, SMH. Oh yes, people have no clue. They show people do those things in like 15 minutes on TV, right? How hard can it be? Come on, don't be lazy. Get to it. And how they were never gonna come back. This is never the flex they think it is. I know. It's sad that they think it is. Just shows how little they know about working with customers. Sounds like they're not good at planning things. And or lack knowledge of real life. They need to prepare better or lower their expectations. When asked to smile more. For the time I was a server, I was a pretty good one. But walking up with a big grin just wasn't my thing. Wasn't natural. I had a good time with my guests, but I'd do it my way. As a middle-aged man, only once did a guest say I should smile more. I was greeting them, woman admonished me about my missing smile. That's because I'm dead serious, pausing to snap my fingers and point at her, about giving you awesome service. She got a kick out of it. And that was the end of that dumb conversation. Remember, the table is your show. Rubes don't run the show. You do. I had a manager tell me to smile more, so I plastered a big smile on, and after about 20 minutes he told me to just stop. I like to do that and look them dead in the eye until they get uncomfortable. Nice. LOL. At one job, we had an owner who would always want us cleaning, even when everything was immaculate, and would always tell us to keep smiling. We'd sit there and scrub things with maniacal smiles on our faces until he finally got frustrated and gave up asking. As a woman, it is constant, degrading, and downright creepy. Good for you, being a middle-aged man, only being told to smile once. But it is a much different experience for a lot of people, and often crosses the line into sexual harassment. I had a boss tell me to smile more, and my response was, "Do you want a clown or a professional?" Because the clown is so worried about putting on a show with smiles, flair, and happy joy that mistakes will happen. The professional is going to move naturally and concentrate on getting the job done right. My boss was a micromanager who just played on his phone all day as he told people they weren't doing their job well. The entire accounting, housekeeping, engineering, and half the front desk quit under his leadership. Bo, you really ked as a boss, but the hotel world will just recycle you like the trash you are. We need to talk about your flair. It was a non-industry job. I got my first paycheck and the lady passing them out said, "You should be happy." I looked back at her deadpan and said, "This is my happy face." This would always happen when I was 9+ tables deep in the bar, where people could sit themselves and few people would help me bus because it was out of their way, less a gripe and more a statement. I'm pretty smiley in general. Once I hit that 9th table, I have to really focus on getting things done as quickly and correctly as possible. Out goes the smile as I am working my ass off to do so. Then there'd be that one table that would stop me to ask why wasn't I smiling, wasn't I happy to be there? My response was always I'm working all of these tables solo. I can either smile, or I can get your order. It hasn't happened since we started masking up. Masks are now optional, and corporate can take mine from my cold, dead fingers. Masks are the best thing ever. No one tells me to smile, and I catch fewer colds than ever. Not in the service industry, but when I worked at a public library, I had one man always tell me to smile. I'd always give him a quick smile and try to walk off. The day one of my dogs was put down, he decided to hide and surprise me with a big grin. Based on the look on his face, I must have given him the death glare of a lifetime. The last time a man told me to smile, I was on my way to a funeral. The worst is when they pull me away from what I'm doing to tell me to smile. Hey, hey, HEY. Yes sir, what can I get you? Smile. Tell a joke. Awesome response. I'm going to remember that for if it happens to me, laughing face. Amen. You can tell me where you want to go, but I'm driving and know the best route. I'm with you, man. I go the opposite way though, where I can't stop smiling during service. Smile and wave, private. I made $7.60 an hour last night. So the restaurant I work at decided to implement a new food runner position. The runners are just servers that haven't gotten high enough scores from customer reviews. They are paid hourly server wage plus 4% of the shift's sales. Now if there's 2 runners, it's the 4% split among the 2. It's a lot of back and forth running for ranch and dealing with incorrect orders going out. The idea was for the server to spend more time with the table, making a personable connection to bring customers back. I say let them eat and enjoy their family time and go about their day. If we want to be friends, we will make friends. That's the whole point of building regulars. Anywho, I'm 6 months pregnant and my husband and I both work for this restaurant. He full-time serves and ends up tipping out way too much at the end of the day. I apparently was demoted to a food runner. BC, let's make the slow pregnant lady do all that running back and forth and tray carrying. Last night there were 2 runners on, and I was there from 5 till past closing, 11 p.m. Checking my pay card this morning, I only had $46 loaded on as my pay for my food running shift. I miss serving so much, and I had just started working here when they started this new system. I think I only even had 2 reviews put and they were positive. But having not been there long, I guess I didn't have enough good survey rep under my belt. I don't know how to get back to serving if I don't ever get the chance to serve and build higher scores if I'm always scheduled as a runner. I'm literally trying to save for a baby. And doing the math, I made under minimum wage last night. And they wonder why we walk out. Just wanted to vent. Thank you for reading. Did they demote you after you became pregnant? If it is in any way related, that's highly illegal, in the US at least. I was already pregnant when I started working there. The managers didn't find out till a little before the food runner system was started. I was told all the servers were going to take turns rotating the runner shifts till they hired in more servers. And that I would continue being both till then. But the food running shifts just started to blur out the serving shifts. And now I've ran food straight for the past 2 weeks, uneasy face. Go work somewhere else. If your area is like most of the US, restaurants are hurting for staff, so just move on to somewhere that will treat you right. Also, check your state's laws. In most places, if you don't make at least the state minimum wage with tips, your employer has to make up the difference. That's over a play period, not day to day. Yes. Look for retirement homes/assisted living facilities. They are always hiring, and they treat you better than that. Tell the you were not hired for busing. You are here to be a server. If they fire you, you can collect. But tell them, don't ask. I'm confused how you made so little with 4% of sales. The only time I've seen restaurants have runners is when they're busy. Even with 2, if you're both moving just as fast as each other, you'd be taking 4% of every table you run. From what I understand, it's 4% of the total sales of the night, and unfortunately there's always 2 runners scheduled every night. Even on dead nights. And one of us are required to stay till very close, the other was there from the start of shift. They'll get cut first when they were there first, second to come and gets out after close, but there's always a runner scheduled. It's also honestly confusing for all of us too, but it's a new place thing the company is doing. It gets weird. I just know how much I ended up with, and how my environment is. You probably don't want to go job hunting right now, but honestly, you would do better at a Burger King than this place. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.